Okay, welcome back to another video. I wanted to touch base on something that honestly I believe is one of the greatest pieces of advice that I ever received, regardless if you're an artist or you do some other form of content or some whatever creation. But this is especially if you are a content creator or you're an influencer or you just use social media to, like, you're using it to leverage your business or leverage your name or your skill set to get yourself out there more so that you can, make money and be able to make a living based off of what it is that you want to do. Because obviously, as I've mentioned in previous videos, the job market is completely cooked. It's pretty much done. So at this point, it's all about what can you generate from yourself with the gifts that God has given you. Start using those to make your way in income and living and stuff like that. But the advice that I received that is pretty universal, that I believe is one of the greatest pieces of advice, and I'm seeing how it's showing up in my life now, is whenever you receive an idea to create something, you capitalize on it as soon as possible. You don't sit and wait until your mind tries to trick you into believing that it won't happen, or you start getting doubts or limiting beliefs, or you start overthinking. You don't wait until that happens, because that can happen very quickly. Because as many of you may know, your mind is like, it is not always in your favor, which is the craziest part of it, because it's like it's yourself, right? But your mind, I believe, is still like carnal in a way. It's separate from your spirit. So oftentimes when you want to do something, your mind will try to convince you, I'm trying to get centered in the frame, your mind will try to convince you to not do something, which is completely crazy, especially if it's something that you know will change your life and potentially the life of your family as well, right? So that's the advice. As soon as you get an idea, you capitalize on it. As if you saw the Michael Jackson movie, there was like a joke mentioned how like he capitalized on his ideas because he doesn't want God to give them to Prince. But the deeper message in that is that one of the reasons probably why Michael Jackson is literally the greatest performer of all time is because he didn't waste any time. He probably was very valuable with his time too. That's why like people would say, oh, like you'd see him, you speak to him one time and then I never saw him again type joint, right? I don't know if he was a sociable person or not, but he was clearly someone who valued his time and didn't waste it mingling or doing anything that he didn't think was in alignment with what he was called to do, right? And because of that, he is literally seen as the king of pop, the greatest musician of all time, right? And that's because he capitalized on his ideas. This man made like hundreds, probably thousands of songs. You just probably never will hear them and never come to light of day. But he's made hundreds and hundreds of songs. Not decades, like, what do you call it? I mean, he was around for decades, but he made like, I don't know, like 20 albums. I have no idea. I haven't listened to Michael Jackson's entire discography, but he's made a ton of albums. But that mindset carried him very far. And to a very much extent, you have to have that mindset as well with social media. But the thing is like, especially from the artist perspective, what I've noticed is that there's a fine line with capitalizing on your ideas and being quick with producing whatever it is that you had in your mind, materializing it into the world. There's a fine line between that and then just like falling into like just creating like meaningless content just to promote your art. Obviously people do what they need to do, right? Like if you do what you gotta do. But personally for me, even in creating bulk content, I still want it to be meaningful. And I'm not really someone that likes to do the content batching thing too much. I mean, I've done it before, but every time I produce a reel, even though I'm not the biggest fan of making short form content, I rather do like long form sit down talking. It's just honestly it's more, it's healthier on my nervous system. The short form content is just, it's a little bit too much, but I do it because there's an avenue for it and I see the benefit. But even within creating short form content, I still do the best that I can. But the thing is like I've mentioned in other videos, like that perfectionism spirit has been on me for a very long time, where I would like create something and then not put it out and then sit on it, or I'll have an idea and then not capitalize on it right away. It's like, no, You have to get on it now, because obviously you don't want to be a slave to the algorithm, but the algorithm rewards those who just put out more content. And you gotta find a system to work where you don't feel like you're being burnt out. But what I will say that I have noticed, which is very smart, that a lot of artists have been doing, especially on Instagram, they have been like, let's say, because I'm not a painter, right? I love to get into painting, but I do more sketching and digital art. But I know that painting in many ways could take a lot longer, right? I know there's a lot of artists that I've seen and that I follow on Instagram where they will be creating, let's say they're creating one painting, right? They will come somehow, some way, they will come up with ideas to create 6-7 pieces of content, 6-7 reels revolving around one piece of art. And you have to kind of do that if you don't want to get into the space of just speedily making art and then it's trash and then you don't feel an alignment to it, because at the end of the day, art is spiritual, right? So if you're an artist, you have to find a way to take one project that you're working on, one piece of art, and stretch it in a way to create as much content as you can for that piece of art, to put it out there on your social media, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, whatnot. But it's just like, when you get an idea, get on it right away, bro. And I feel like another reason why I'm seeing the importance of that so much, especially now, is because I believe in biblical prophecy. I know that the time is moving faster, the clock is ticking, and you never know when it's your last day. So every day you have to be giving it your all. Can I say that I've been giving it my all every single day? No, I haven't. But I've been making changes to do so, because I'm realizing that the path that I'm going down, to a lot of people, it seems very far-fetched. But at the same time, it's possible because people have seen it. But at the same time, it's like, when you are in an environment or a community of people that you don't know anyone personally that has made it by just creating content and making art and stuff like that and posting on social media, and they literally made their living 6, 7, 8 figures doing that. When you don't know anyone personally doing that, you know it's possible, but there's a part of your brain that, not me, I believe that this is going to happen. I know it's going to happen. But someone else who may not be creating content, that may be looking at me, part of them may be like, yeah, he could make it, but I mean, because they don't know anyone around them that's doing that, if you feel what I'm saying. So it's just like, as soon as you get that idea, because a lot of our ideas, I think all of our ideas are spiritual, and a lot of them are downloads from the Most High. And the way the Most High works is that if he tells you to do something, he gives you an idea, he gives you the inspiration to create something. You got to capitalize on that immediately, because we need God, but God doesn't need us. So if you don't hone in and take your calling seriously and do what it is that you know that you're supposed to do and capitalize on those ideas and get started now, then he'll just give it to somebody else. Someone else will do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I heard a quote one time where it's like, there was a time period, I guess, I don't know what the trend was, but people were saying that, like, you have all the time in the world, don't rush, blah blah blah. And like, yeah, that is true to an extent. Don't rush. Definitely create this environment for you, even in content creation, that's good on your nervous system, that isn't like causing you to be stressed and whatnot. But you should still, I believe, have a sense of urgency when you are creating or building a platform. Not pushing out content and it's trash and you're not like doing your best, but there should be like a structure set in place if you want to actually grow, because it is evident that the clock is ticking, time is moving. Today is June. It's June right now, right? It won't always be June 2026. Very soon it'll be July 2026, and then August. Next thing you know is September, October, November, and now we're on the last day of the year, singing Happy New Year for 2027. Like, bro, the time is moving real fast, and it's low-key kind of scary. So if you really want to get on whatever it is that you want to do, content creation, art, whatever, and you want to grow through social media, because it's proven now that social media is the best way to grow your business or whatever it is that you have, then you have to be persistent and consistent with that, putting your foot on the gas, You know what I'm saying? Not always pressing the brakes. Knowing when to press the brakes, when to let up so that you don't go crazy, but still, being consistent. Even if that consistently looks like once a week you post a YouTube video, if you're a YouTuber, or once a week you put something on Instagram. If that's what it takes for you, if that's all you need to do, that's all you believe you need to do, then that's that. If you believe that you need to be posting a couple times a week, then you need to be posting a couple times a week. If you're someone that you're like, I have to post every single day, for what I got going on, every single day I need to be posting, then you need to be posting every single day. Personally, when it comes to Instagram, I don't think I need to be posting every single day. I would like to, but the more I'm like weighing things and seeing how things work, I truly believe that my break is probably going to come through YouTube. Instagram, I'm growing that as well. I still have, there's an importance for Instagram because it's a different audience, but I care more about YouTube than I do Instagram. YouTube is like the bread and butter. Instagram is like, I don't even know this scenario. YouTube is like the gold standard for me, and then Instagram is secondary, if that makes any sense. But I still do my best even when I'm posting on Instagram. You feel what I'm saying? So, like, I remember this is the last thing I'll say. I remember that it was a few years ago. I had a friend. We don't talk much anymore, unfortunately, but I had a friend, and they were telling me how, like, they were about to build their business up, right? And they were telling me how their cousin had created like some type of like hair business, or like holistic hair health business, or something of the sorts, with like, body oils. It was all about like skincare, hair care stuff, right? And this person was telling me that one of the things that they admired about their cousin was that their cousin was very proactive with their ideas. They didn't think too hard about, oh, will this work? Will this not work? What are the options? They weren't into all that. They're just like, oh, I have an idea. Let me capitalize on it. Like, I think that having a certain level of, I don't even know if this is a real word, but having a certain level of impulsiveness in your ideas is very helpful to getting ahead in life. I'm not saying that you should be impulsive at everything in life, because you definitely shouldn't. But when it comes to your ideas, there should be a level of impulsiveness where you just jump on it immediately. You shouldn't always be someone that is like literally like weighing out every option and like analyzing everything and taking it safe every single time. Obviously, there's a time and place for that, but many times all you really gotta do is just start. That's it. And be a little impulsive, like, oh, dang, I had this idea. Okay, let me start researching now before I start thinking, oh, maybe not. Because, like, the thing is, for me, I can only speak for myself. Sometimes I'll receive an idea, right? It'll be a great idea, and then I will ruminate on it, think about it, daydream about it, and then I'll go on Instagram or YouTube, and mainly YouTube, and I'll try to see if there's anyone else doing it. And then I'm going down this rabbit hole, and then sometimes if I'm not seeing anyone that's doing what I want to do, it kind of discourages me. Like, this is how my brain thinks. So recently, I literally just been capitalizing on ideas, because it's just like, at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I'm not doing anything that's going to like ruin me in terms of like my finances or like my life or anything. It's just like trying an idea. Does this work? Does this not work? Trying a different style of creating content. Does this work? Does this not work? Kind of like, basically trial and error. Trying to figure out what works for you, what doesn't work for you. You know what I'm saying? And you just have to constantly be in that motion of just recycling through ideas, because you're going to receive so many ideas in your creative artistic journey and whatever it is you're doing, especially if you're consistent in this work. Because with everything, it's like a trained muscle. Your imagination gets stronger, it expands, it gets more vast the more you put in time to capitalize on your ideas. So when you have an idea and you're like, boom, let me try this. Oh, okay, this kind of work. Okay, I can incorporate pieces of this, but let me incorporate this as well. Oh, let me fine tune this. Let me edit this. Boom, 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 boom. You're doing that over and over and over again. Your mind is expanding. Your brain is expanding. Your imagination is expanding, leaving more room, more ideas and downloads from God to come into your psyche so that you can then produce them out. Like, I really truly believe it's like the more I started to, or the quicker I became and capitalizing on my ideas and like actually seeing if these work and like trying them out, I started to get more ideas quicker. Because it's almost just like God looking at me like, oh, okay, I'm giving him an idea. He's not dilly-dallying and wasting time and sitting on it. He's actually trying to see if this works or putting it into action. Okay, let me give him more ideas. And now all along the way, the Most High is just leading me and guiding me. It's almost like it's like an invisible hand, and my hand is out. My hand is not even in the frame. My hand is out, and he's holding my hand, and he's leading me. And I know he's leading me, but I don't know the destination. He's just giving me things. He's like, all right, try this. Because Most High knows the end goal of everything. It's just like he's giving you pieces of it at a time, if that makes any sense. And that's literally just energy. The more you are a good steward of what you've been giving, whether it's money, whether it's an idea, whether it's leadership, whatever the case may be, the more you are a good steward of what I'm saying the universe, what is God, the universe is giving you, then the more of it you will receive. And then the more, it's just like a streamline. The more and more you get, and you get, and you get. So capitalize on your ideas. Stop overthinking. Now is really the time to get into content creation. I know everyone's not a content creator, but for those of you that really been thinking about it and you have a message to share, because I believe everyone does, don't start thinking that, oh, what, I'm not unique, oh, I can't stand out from the crowd, these people, they got millions of followers, thousands. Hey, in my mind, my voice means just the same as someone who has millions of followers, and I only have like 25 followers. You have to reframe your mindset and then get on those ideas immediately. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.